Good morning, boys and girls. I am back for the third session of class 8. Now, let me take a couple of minutes to recapitulate what has been done in the previous class, followed by today's concept. Right? What did we do in the previous class? We have learned what is an electronic spreadsheet. It's a huge sheet consisting of rows and columns. Intersection of row and column is called as a cell. Where the cursor is there is also known as a active cell. That is where the cursor is. Wherever the cursor is there, whose address will be available on left top corner of your electronic spreadsheet. Right on left top corner, if you have rows and columns, left top corner you find the address. That tells you where your cursor is currently. In short, it's also known as an active cell. Now, we have also learned type some values where you can use some built-in functions. Built-in functions mean there are some functions are there which allows us, which enables to do the calculation very fast. For example, sum, average, count, maximum, minimum, absolute value, square root value, such. Instead of we calculating manually, we can make use of the MS Excel. In other words, electronic spreadsheet has a built-in functions. Now, today I am going to tell you what is the formula last class, what has been done. Let me recapitulate. What is that all about? There are three means, there are three ways and means you can type a formula. You can directly type a formula using this equal to A7 to A48. What does it signify? It's a formula directly. You go to the active place where you want the sum of A7, 8th row, 7th column. This is the starting place, in other words, lower limit. It goes up to 8th row and 40th column. So all the values gets added up, which will be there in the current cell. Directly one can type the formula. The formula, a variety of formula are available. There are three ways are there. Directly, any formula has to be equal symbol. It should begin with an equal symbol followed by the function name and the range you must give within the parenthesis. A pair of braces, not braces. This is called as a braces. We call it as a bracket. We do not use the word called as, it's correctly, the app name is called as parenthesis. So the range has to be given within the parenthesis. In other words, this is known as an argument or parameter of this function. So this function will work from this range, starting range, and this is the ending range. Like sum, average, minimum, maximum, count, very many variety of functions are there. This is one way. What is the second way of doing? Using the mouse for a range. How do we use the mouse? The method is same. If you are using the second method, same example let me cite. What you do is, you must type equal to, also you must type sum, give. Instead of, if you are not aware, if you do not know what is the range, what you can do is, keep the mouse, which is the starting place, drag and drop. So that will tell you what is this is the starting place and this is the ending place. So this also can be done. How do we do it? So drag, starting place, keep moving around and drop it. Right? Otherwise you can use the shift and down arrow key if you are going down. Shift and right arrow key if you are going towards right hand side. So you can use instead of typing this range, if you are not aware of this range, what you can do is you can make use of the mouse, using the mouse for a range. So where starting and the ending place can be there by using the mouse. if mouse is not working, if you don't want to use the mouse, what you can do is you can also use the keyboard by keep pressing the control key and use the arrow mark. If you use up arrow mark, it goes towards up and side. Down arrow key will lead you to down. Left, it leads you to the left hand side, and right arrow key will take you to right hand side. This also can be done. Either you can use the mouse or the keyboard to type your range. This is the second method. What is the third method is? On your menu bar, there are plenty of tiny icons are there. One of them is called as fx. Fx is the shortest form of function. Fx is the shortest form of function. What does it do? What does it do? The moment you click on this, a menu drops down. It tells you all the functions which your MS Excel offers. What all the functions are there? Sum, average. The moment you click on this function, all the function it comes. Whichever the function you wanted, you can select that function. For example, I wanted a maximum function. The moment you click on this, a menu drops down, right? Go to that max function. If you click on that, the function comes, and here you need to type the range. How do you type the range? You can use this method, or you can type the range. If you are aware of this, straight away you can type this range. Otherwise, you can make use of the mouse, or if not, you can make use of your keyboard too by keep pressing the shift key, and in conjunction with that you must use the 4 arrow keys depending upon this. If you have to keep pressing towards right hand side, it leads you to the right hand side where all the portions will be darkened, right? So that is the range you are going to work. What does this maximum function do? Whatever the range you give, it finds the maximum among the given range. Similarly, you have instead of max, if I write minimum function will give you min value. Okay, this is what we have seen. There are 3 ways and means where one can type the formula. You can directly type the formula if you are aware of it. If not, you type the formula, equal will be there, function name, and instead of typing this, if you are unaware of this range, you can make use of the mouse. Click and drag and drop. Otherwise, you can make use of the keyboard. This is the second method. And what is the third method is? If you do not know the function, if you want to know how many functions does the MS Excel offer, so what happens is, click on, you have a menu bar, a function called as fx, click. So the moment you click here, a menu drops down, okay, you have a symbol like this. Sigma means, sigma is a mathematical symbol for the sake of summation. Summation means what? It sums up, it gives you sum of the entire range, whatever. This I am citing an example, that's it, A7 to A48, right? So that you can go towards, any range, it should be in the form of a rectangle or a square, right? You can select the range with the help of a mouse or a keyboard, right? So all these 3 methodologies are there. I repeat again, boys and girls, what did I say so far? One can type the formula by 3 ways. One can directly type the formula and give the range within the parentheses. This is the first methodology. What the second method is? Type the function within the parentheses. Instead of typing the range, you can make use of the mouse or the keyboard, whichever you are familiar, right? What would be the third one is? The third one would be, you have in a menu bar, insert a function. You have a facility called as a insert a function. You have a file, edit, then afterwards insert. Click on the insert, your menu drops down. You can go to the formula. Otherwise, if you have an icon of this kind, click on that. What does it do? It gives you a very wide range of functions. Whichever the function of useful to you, click on that and give that range within the parentheses. That function will do the job effectively by pressing the enter key. By click of a function, click the function and give the range and enter key. Instantaneously your job is done. If it is a maximum, it will give the maximum value. If it is a minimum, it will give a minimum value. If it is an average, it gives an average. If it is a sum, it gives a sum. If it is a square root, it gives you a square root. If it is absolute, absolute value. Variety of functions are there. You can have a look by clicking on this icon. Is this clear? Now, let me go and teach you how do we copy and paste the formula. Now, for example, in a class, 60 of you are there. How many of you are there? Imagine 60 of you are there. I want to find you the average of 3 subjects. Let me draw this. Let me draw the spreadsheet in an example. This is what? Look at here. What I want to do is, here I want to give serial number. Here, name. Here, English, maths. Imagine, what do I do is, this is what your row is, this is what your column is, right? What I want to do is serial number. Let's say 1, 2, or let's say roll number. Roll number. Please do not get confused on this and this. This is built in. This is built in. Okay, now this is what you created. You have a range of this one. Here I wanted to have an, let's say that, what is popular average. Average. Now here what happens is Ram, Sam.
Yes,
Now, this is what the name is. Here there are roll number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. These are the various names. Here let's say that the RAM is given. Here secured in English 70. Here 60. Here 50. Now I wanted the average. Instead of we doing this manually, we can make use of this MS Excel to compute. It will compute. Once if you type the formula only once, this can be copied so that for rest of the students, as you enter the mark, the average gets calculated automatically. How do I do it? Here I go. Equal to average. Where do I begin? What is the average is AVERAGE. I need to type here in this is the moment I click here, what happens? That becomes an active cell. What did I type? Equal to average AVERAGE. I wanted to find the average of C2. This is the second row and Cth column. Where do they will intersect? This and this. So I wanted from C2 to C2, D2, E2. The moment I type, immediately it gives you the average. How does it calculate? 60 plus 50 is 110, 110 plus 70 is 180. 180 divided by 3 would be 60. Automatically, you type the formula, computer finds the average of these 3 cells and type here. Automatically, the average would be 60. It will come by itself. right? Now, how do I do it? How do I copy it and do it in the rest of the place? This is what? Copying the formula. All of you must be very, very familiar with the copy and paste. What do you do it? Control C. Click this. Have you typed the formula here once? You type the formula once here, right? Let this be active cell. Say Control C. Control C, which enables you to copy the current formula, right? Keep the cursor here. Keep the cursor here. Keep pressing the control key and down arrow key. Otherwise, you can make use of the mouse here. Keep pressing the control key and drag the mouse from here to here. Then say Control V. I am sure most of you must be knowing a key in conjunction with, what do you mean by conjunction? Simultaneously you press. Some of you press this and leave it and afterwards you do it. Keep pressing Control and say C. So it gets copied here. Once if you copy it, let the cursor be here, say Control and C. It's copied. You will find this. This is darkened and copied. Keep the cursor here. Keep pressing the control key and use. Otherwise, make use of your mouse. Drag it up to this. This is the range. In other words, I am copying this formula starting from here and ending here. The same formula will be copied. What does it do? When you say Control V, Control when I say Control V, the formula, it will be copied here in F3, F4, F5, F6, F7. That is, F2 will be copied to F3, F4, F5, F6, F7. You must be wondering, sir, how it would do the average when they are empty column? When nothing is entered, is understood as 0, 0, 0. You will not find anything. The moment I give here, the moment I enter the value, automatically the average will come as a 50. 100 plus 30 is 130, 130 plus 20 is 150, 150 divided by 3 would be 50. Any number for that matter. I give here 30, 30, 30. Automatically 30 will come. This calculation we need not to do it. Because the formula has been copied and pasted. So as you enter the value, the average gets computed by itself. Then it will be available up to this. Now, for example, I have not copied the formula here. I haven't copied the formula here. If I enter the value 20, 20, 20, do you think that the average after 20, 20, 20, which is 20, will it come? It won't come because the pasting has not been done. So this is what the copy and paste. I repeat again, boys and girls, copy and paste is quite simple. Let me not complicate. There are very many options are there. You can go to edit menu, copy it. The most effective way one can do it, Control C is meant for copying. Then place the cursor wherever the desired position is there, block it with the help of a mouse or a keyboard and say Control V. The formula which you have copied, it gets pasted. As you enter the value, the average gets filled up by itself. Automatically it will be filling up, right? As I told you before, what is a range is? A group of cells, okay, are known as range. Always ranges are there in a shape called as rectangular or a square. Your range cannot be an irregular shape. For example, I begin here, then can I go diagonally? No. That is left top corner to bottom right corner or top right corner to left. No, it's not a range. Range has to be always in a rectangular shape or in a square shape. Now, the next one is called as, I wanted you to select a range. As I told you before, what you do is, click the mouse, drag it, it gets selected. Right? This is one way. I wanted to select, which is a huge range.